Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving straight into a truly fascinating Game Week 1 fantasy football draft for the highly anticipated 2026/2027 season. If you're all about maximizing points, dissecting risk, and starting your season with a massive structural advantage, while you are in the exact right place. We're going to break down this entire squad, piece by piece, just to really understand the brilliant and honestly somewhat daring logic behind it. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for the explainer. First up, the full Game Week 1 squad reveal. Second, we're captaining Holland against Bournemouth. Third, we'll analyze those crucial midfield matchups with Fernandes and Szoboszlai. And finally, assessing the overall squad balance. Section 1. The Game Week 1 squad reveal. A high-stakes opening strategy. Now, to understand a manager's true strategy, we really have to look at the macro-level structure first, before we get completely lost in the weeds with individual player names. Take a good look at the overall layout here. We've got a classic 3-4-3 formation. Up top, there's a very heavy-hitting front line featuring João Pedro, Calvert-Lewin, and of course, Erling Haaland. In the middle, a four-man engine room made up of Cunha, Bruno Fernandes, Lafay, and Szoboszlai. And at the back, Shaw, Van Hecke, and Mosquera are protecting goalkeeper roofs. We're going to zoom in on exactly what these specific fixtures actually mean for this pretty bold strategy. So, breaking down these core structural decisions, we can pull out a few massive takeaways. As we saw, it's an incredibly aggressive 3-4-3 formation, but what actually enables that level of aggression? It's the bench. Look at that list: Dubravka, Maguire, Munoz, and Thomas. By utilizing this highly restricted budget bench, the manager is basically forced into a heavy, almost absolute reliance on their starting 11. There is virtually zero safety net here. If a starter gets benched in real life or just has a terrible match, that bench is definitely not coming to the rescue with guaranteed points. It's a high-wire act for sure, but one specifically designed to maximize the budget right there on the pitch. 9. Yeah, you heard that right. 9 out of the 11 starters in this squad are playing away from home in Game Week 1. I mean, think about the immediate tension that introduces. Historically, away fixtures yield fewer clean sheets and, often much tighter scorelines. So by loading up on 9 away fixtures, this draft is fundamentally betting that premium talent will completely override traditional home field advantage. Section 2. Captaining Holland against Bournemouth, the anchor. Now, the single most critical decision you make any week is the captaincy. So I want to challenge your biases for a second here. Looking at a team filled with this much premium talent, we really have to ask ourselves, is putting the armband on Holland an absolute tactical necessity, or is it actually a missed opportunity for a massive early season differential? Because, when everyone zigs, sometimes the winning move is to zag. Let's see what the data actually tells us. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why Holland gets the armband. You've got Holland sitting there with the beautiful premium home fixture against Bournemouth, while literally the rest of the heavy hitters, João Pedro at Fulham, Calvert-Lewin at Forest, Fernandes at Hull, they all face really tricky away tests. In a squad that is built on the razor's edge of away fixture risk, Holland isn't just the captain, he is the structural anchor. He's the guaranteed safety that allows the rest of the team to take those massive, aggressive swings. Section 3. Midfield matchups, Fernandes and Szoboszlai. Now, what's really interesting about this is how it contrasts the different types of risk in the midfield engine room, which, let's be honest, dictates your overall point ceiling. Notice Bruno Fernandes holds the vice-captaincy. Even though he's playing away against Hull City, he represents a really high floor. He's a premium anchor, he's on set pieces, and he's deeply involved in the attack. If disaster strikes and Holland somehow doesn't play, Bruno is an incredibly stable backup. Now contrast that with Dominik Szoboszlai. He faces a notoriously tough away test at St. James's Park against Newcastle. This is a pure high-upside differential play. The manager is basically trusting Szoboszlai's raw talent over the extreme fixture difficulty. And briefly rounding out this four-man midfield, we have Cunha and Lafay, who completely buy into the squad's overarching theme of away day gambles. Cunha shares that Hull City fixture with Fernandes, while Lafay travels over to Ipswich. The manager has clearly concentrated a huge portion of their budget here, making a big bet that attacking returns are going to flow completely regardless of the stadium they happen to be playing at. Section 4. Assessing overall squad balance, risk versus reward. So, jumping back to the full squad view, you will find exactly 2 starting home fixtures, literally just 2. Holland against Bournemouth and defender Mosquera playing Coventry. That is it. The entire rest of the starting 11 is completely reliant on away returns. This is pretty much the textbook definition of a high-variance Game Week 1 draft. I mean, when it works, it completely breaks the template, but when it fails, those red arrows are swift and they are punishing. So the crucial point is how you can actually use this exact structural framework to evaluate or even build your own Game Week 1 squads. Step 1. You've got to anchor a risky squad with a highly reliable home captain, just like Holland. Step 2. You concentrate your budget into a high upside formation like this 3-4-3. Step 3. Cleverly use your vice-captaincy on a stable premium player, like Fernandez, to hedge your bets against any late-notice injuries. And finally, Step 4. You just have to accept the reality of a budget bench in order to afford those expensive high-ceiling midfield differentials like Szoboszlai. It is a brilliant, highly calculated balancing act. Which leaves us with a pretty provocative thought to wrap up our analysis today. Does a squad with only 2 home fixtures carry just a bit too much Game Week 1 risk? Or is fixture difficulty honestly just a myth when you're dealing with true premium assets? That is the ultimate debate for your fantasy group chats. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. Keep analyzing, trust your gut, and I will catch you on the next explainer.